Alright. Good evening all. Today I'm going to talk to you about my country, Chile, and I want to give you just a very wide view of our country and then going straight to the history of our country. And I want to touch the military coup because it explains a lot of what our country is now, how we stand now, our people, our differences, and it's also kind of a conversation that people have or I've encountered in other countries that they just relate Chile to the military coup, so I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so Chile, this is our country. It's a very long country, and it's a very narrow country. It has 4,400 kilometers long. That's pretty long. And it has a particular thing that we have a Humboldt current coming from the south, from the Antarctic to the Pacific Ocean, and that makes our country have a very particular climate. That means that since it is a cold sea over here, we have this region here that should be quite tropical as Brazil is actually very, very dry. So that means that we have the driest desert in the world, and we also have very high mountains in that region, the north region of the country. So this is Lago Chungará, that it's in our extreme north, and that's nearly 4,000 meters high. So it's a very nice place there. This is Antofagasta. I want to flick through some pictures for you to get an idea of the country. So this is Antofagasta. This is also in the north. This is Valle de la Luna, and this white thing here is salt. So we have, because evolution, we have one of the biggest world resources of natural salt, and we have a very big mining industry. This is a copper mining sector, and if you go south, you still in the mid region of our country. This is Valparaiso. This is the port, one of the biggest ports in our country, and it's also a nice place because it was inhabited at first by some English from English people, so they have very nice houses there, and okay, so very nice. Continuing, this is a typical house in the mid part of Chile. This is like our agricultural zone, and we're very well known for wines. And at the same level, we have our capital, Santiago, and Santiago we have this amazing view that we have the Andes just beside our house. So when we don't have smoke, because we have heavy smoke in winter, we can see the Andes range as you see it here. This picture actually is very, very close to where we live in Santiago. It's kind of a modern city, if you may, regarding Latin American standards. And the good thing is that we can have these amazing skiing resorts just an hour and a half driving from your home. But as well, you can go to the beach and practice your surf there. And this is actually this is in Puertecillo. That's 2 hours drive from Santiago. If you go south, you have south meaning kind of Melbourne south. That's the latitude. So this is what you get. You have a lot of forests, you have a lot of volcanoes, and a lot of lakes. And it's more dry, but dry in sense of humidity, but you have a lot of rain during the winter. So you have these very nice views. We have a lot of volcanoes and lakes, so this is kind of a common view in the south of Chile. And this is the sector, the area where we cultivate our salmons. Chile is the second world's biggest producer of salmon, and after Finland, I guess. And this is extreme south. This is where in the tip of South America. This is Torre del Paine, and it's a very nice place. You have glaciers there, and there's a hiking tour. It's very tourist. I've never been there, but I've been told it's great because it's very far away from Santiago. It's like it's maybe a 2 or 3 hour flight. So
it's called the Three Uncles.
So that's our country in terms of landscape. This is our people. So first of all, I'm going to get to this in the history part, but we don't have the features of the Chilean people are very much the same in the whole territory. So you don't have a lot of African Americans. We don't have a lot of Indians, neither Asian people. It's all very same as these people here. Like it's a mix between the Spanish and the locals that were the Araucanos. This is a celebration we have on the extreme north. It's called La Tirana, and they celebrate, it's kind of an Indian, very related to the Incas celebration. This is extreme north. This is another thing that we are very passionate with, is football, that we're very lousy in, but every time our national team is playing in Estadio Nacional, we fill the stadium, and that's how it looks. It's not any, this is any soccer match between our country or another country. This is the biggest national team, which I hate. It's Colo Colo, and it's kind of it belongs to our national identity, I guess, because they're very every guy belongs to either Colo Colo or Universidad Chile, so everybody feels like in other countries, they feel very strong to their team. As this is our local cowboy, right? So we have in the central region of our country, we have what is the most typical typical Chilean, historic Chilean. This is called the Huaso. And the Huaso is kind of a cowboy, and it's basically the farmer. The farmer that in Saturdays or Sundays, they like to do rodeo. That is, it's a kind of competition it's a kind of competition with horses that you have to settle down a cow that is in a round space, like kind of similar as toreros in Spain. Every summer we have a Festival de Viña, that is our own festival, music festival. It used to be a very kind of traditional music festival, but it grew up to be an international festival. So now we have a lot of international artists coming over. Usually you have those artists that were famous in the 80s, they come to have their last chance kind of in Festival de Viña. But still, we enjoy it, and it's a big thing for us. Teleton. This is, in the States, I think Jerry Lewis has a big telethon going through the past decades, but I believe that in terms of how small our country is, and the amount that we collect, this is a very, very big fundraising event for us. It happens every single year, and the leader in this is Don Francisco, that is kind of our Oprah Winfrey, if you may. But he's been the starring role of big shows in Chile, and he's dedicated a lot of his life to this, and they fundraise for crippled children, and they've made such a great organization in Chile that everybody gets together for this event and lasts every year, and it's a very big thing for us. France '98, we qualified for the World Cup, and these two guys were very, very big for us, Zamorano and Salas.